Alrighty, everybody, welcome to Casual Sports Talk Podcast, Sweet 16 March Madness edition. And now we got a gentleman right over here who is disappointed that his March Madness bracket is broken. Here's Chris.
Yeah, busted. Woo! My
I
women's
bracket. Houston winning it all. Isn't that good?
What's that?
Don't you have Houston winning it? You still got hope.
Yeah, but I mean, compared to other people, well, plus I have Duke winning in my other brackets. But yeah, how's our bracket looking?
Oh, I don't worry. We will. I have the receipts right over here. Once we are talking about the teams, we can show about a bracket. And now we got a gentleman right over here who wants to say in your face for picking Michigan out of the first round. Here's Douglas.
Gosh darn right, Stu. Told you about your haterade.
Yeah. And now, gentlemen, we just got to talk about the fun about March Madness right now, 2025. Gentlemen, what is your thoughts about this first two rounds of the March Madness?
Well, for Doug, it's probably amazing since Michigan's in the Sweet 16. But for everyone else, not a Michigan fan, man, this is a boring tournament because you have all four number one seeds going to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2016. You have all. I think you have. Do we have all four number two seeds as well?
No, unfortunately, we might have to do some eulogies on.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, St. John's.
Yeah, unfortunately, we are going to have to do a couple of eulogies for the teams that we're not going to do all the teams, but we'll have to do a couple of the teams that struggle bust and not made it into the Sweet 16. But what about you, Douglas? What is your thoughts about the March Madness bracket and the madness?
Yeah, no, I agree with Chris. It's definitely been a kind of boring if you're a fan of the upsets. Like, it's been pretty. Like, I feel like our bracket's probably pretty freaking good because we kept picking like the higher seeded teams because we're very logical. So like for us, it probably went wonderful because we were very just like lame. But I mean, I did see that the top 8 seeds, like the ones and the twos this year, were like stronger than the usual. So maybe that's a part of it. And then I've heard theories on like the NIL stuff going on where it's like, these mid majors don't have the talent that they used to because the bigger schools just pay them. And so we kind of don't see as many upsets because, the schools that have nice runs like FAU last year, Michigan got their coach, players, like all their leading scorers went elsewhere, and they were in the Final Four last year.
Yeah, unless you're that Kansas player. What was it? That was a Michigan player. You did not have a fun March Madness.
Yeah, Dickerson, but hey.
Yeah. Eulogy on the Dickerson.
I mean, that one was obvious from a mile away, gentlemen. Get him out of here.
Get him out of here.
That's what Doug was saying. Yeah, I think, and we'll see next year with the transfer portal going on. Last year might be the end of the runs for the major upsets. We might be seeing a whole bunch of number one seeds going in the Sweet 16, possibly some more 2 seeds going in the Sweet 16 because, yeah, that transfer portal is really, really kicking butt in a good way, also been a huge bad way for lack of upsets for sure.
Yes, so many upsets. And now, like I said, we're not going to do all the eulogies on all the teams that didn't make it, even though that'd be kind of hilarious, but we're not doing 5 hours of podcasting. But I decided to do a couple of eulogies on teams that unfortunately did not make it. And I think we got to start with UConn. We're not surprised that UConn got eliminated, but they hang in there against Florida, 77-75, but still, gentlemen, they couldn't free-peat it. Let's be honest, nobody thought they're going to free-peat unless you're a UConn fan. What is your thoughts about the sad end of UConn basketball this season?
Well, what, Deegan or Duggan? I think it's Deegan, the center from last year and the past 4 years. Yeah, he graduated last year and moved on to the NBA, and he was a big part of their offense and defense. So yeah, just UConn just wasn't the same team. Still impressive that they won back-to-back championships. I don't know who the coach is, but he should be looking at getting some transfers over, so he could rebuild the team and hopefully look forward to next year.
I mean, let's be honest, they're going to rebuild and do better next year. Like, let's be honest, it's never going to be like this.
I don't know if they're going to do better next year. I mean, they were an 8th seed. I guess they should do better. I mean, an 8th seed is like top 32 teams in the nation. And they had a close game against Florida. They only lost by 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a game that they were leading a lot of it too. I mean, honestly, they probably should have won. Did you guys see the tirade of their coach at the end? That was kind of embarrassing.
What
how the
happened?
referees
I
kind of
gotta hear about that.
the referees effed UConn.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, I don't know about that, man. I mean, I think we picked Florida to make a nice run here, and I have them.
I mean, I'm looking at the spread, and it was like 9.5 for Florida. It wasn't like nobody thought like UConn was going to upset them. Let's be honest. Like, and also, do you see this, Douglas? Do you hear this, UConn fans?
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear? That's the world's smallest violin. I'm sorry, UConn. I know my sister's husband is a UConn fan, but let's be honest. Wow, we got eliminated by the refs. Do we need to call 911 and call the ambulance right now? Because
Dude, how do you relate to the Gators as a Buckeye fan being eliminated by the Gators and all those things like 15 years ago? Is that still triggering?
Yeah, when Florida was back-to-back national champions.
Yeah, beating the Buckeyes in football and basketball in the same year.
You got to trigger me.
You have a Buckeyes fan.
You got to trigger me right now. How dare you? How dare all of you? It's so unfair. I can't believe it. I thought we're done with triggering Stu, and now you got to continue with the triggering.
Oh, Stu, it's gonna.
We only made the NIT.
It's the Trigger Stu podcast.
It'll always live.
Change it from the Casual Sports Talk podcast to the Let's Trigger Stu podcast.
Yeah, LTSP, Let's Trigger Stu podcast.
That should be our new shirts. It's like Let's Trigger Stu, basically.
I'll buy a cup with that logo on it for sure.
Yeah,
I think that would help with getting more viewers too. If it was just you getting triggered for an hour.
Yeah, right. The logo could be the Dallas Cowboys star, but then just like broken in half. Photoshop action or some AI.
All of you, I hate you all. Like, really? Why do I have to deal with this? But you know what? I guess I'm a sadomasochist because I still continue to do this.
You know, Stu, I give you credit, man. You've been through some stuff with the Cowboys. That's rough.
That's not hard. I've been still loyal to these suckers.
But I mean, you're not going to get any sympathy from me or Chris, though. I mean, you know.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I'm sure I'm in a worse boat pretty much being a diehard Browns fan. But I mean, sir, I was born in Cleveland. I'm not going to just be like, oh, I'm not a Browns fan anymore. So yeah, got to stick with our teams. You know, you stick with the Cowboys. Doug sticks with his Lions, and I stick with the Browns.
Yes,
through the hard times and the more difficult times as a Browns fan, but as a Lions fan, through the hard times and through the good times, which they're going through.
Till death do us part, Stu.
Until death do us part. And now, gentlemen, we got to talk about the other eulogy. I think this is the interesting one. St. John. I said some positive things, and apparently they decided to lose to Arkansas by 9 points.
I mean, that was John Calipari winning it against Patino. I think that was the game of the even though it was I don't know if it was I didn't really watch that game. I was busy, but yeah, 9-point victory for Calipari. I think that should have been the game of the round of 32.
I mean, they had a 7-point odds to win this game, and they blew it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not wrong.
It'll be kind of fun to see if Arkansas or Kentucky goes further, you know?
Yeah.
Will it be the new Caliparis or the old Caliparis?
Yes, we'll see how the new Calipari. But, I mean,
I can't – sorry, Sue, to cut you off. I can't see Kentucky beating Tennessee. Yeah, but I don't see Arkansas going past Texas Tech. So it looks like I think both teams are going to end in the round of the Sweet 16.
But it's just like it's such a disappointment for St. John's. I was so praising them, and like I said, they had a 7-point differential to win this game, and they still lost. It wasn't even like they were close. Even the first half, it was like 35-32. They just never recovered.
3 points in college basketball is nothing. So.
I know.
That's one shot.
I mean, look at that Michigan game. I thought they were going to lose that game. They had a 10-point deficit, and I thought they were going to lose that game. But apparently, Texas A&M forgot how to shoot for 3 minutes.
I mean, look at Michigan. Michigan was down pretty much the entire game, and they came back and won it by
that was so impressive. But anyway, I guess.
I mean, back to St. John the Red Storm. You can't really win a game when you only have one guy in double digits. Yeah. I don't know. Didn't really, like I said, didn't really watch the game. Didn't really see what was the downfall for the Red Storm. Behind Coach Rick Pitino.
But it is kind of funny. Out of the number ones, and number two, St. John is the only one that did not make the Sweet 16.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a rough, man. It's like, man, it's just like you could have done better. But anyway, unfortunately, the Red Storm became a Red Dwarf this year.
Womp
womp womp. And now we got to talk about the teams that are going to the Sweet 16. And we're going to talk about your favorite team, Douglas.
Oh, let Russ cook.
Go Giants, baby.
All right, we go to the bracket, baby. We go to the wrong
New York Giants, let's ride.
Yeah, let's ride.
Let's go to the New York Giants, baby.
I think it's crazy that the Giants, they signed my boy Jameis Winston a couple days ago, and it looked like Jameis Winston was possibly going to be the starting quarterback, and he could just throw it to Malik Neighbors, and Malik Neighbors could have a 2,000-yard receiving yard season.
I mean, if I was a fan, I would prefer that. Like, I feel like Jameis is better than Russ. I don't know. What do I know?
Statistically wise, I think Winston had a better season this past year than Russell Wilson. But I thought Russell Wilson was going to come to the Browns just on the way things were looking. But I'm somewhat glad that being a diehard Browns fan over here, that Russell Wilson's not coming, because I was hearing he wanted 2 years, $20 million each year, so pretty much $40 million overall. But then he signs with the Giants for 1 year, $21 million, $10.5 million guaranteed. So yeah.
Yes, but indeed. But we got to start. I know we love the football, but we got to start about. I think this is going to be interesting because we got Douglas. We got to talk about your alma mater, where you represent the Michigan Wolverines. Are playing against Auburn. So we'll start with the Auburn Tigers right now. The number one seed, the number one team, pretty much was decisive against a basketball team that was Alabama State by 20 points, and then beat Creighton, which we were correct in making Auburn to the Sweet 16. Now this is going to be interesting.
Dude, is this our bracket or just the bracket that's?
This is the bracket. This is just the bracket.
This is not our bracket. Okay, gotcha.
This is not our bracket. We did not have Michigan making the Sweet 16.
What percentile are we in, Stu? Are we in a good percentile with our bracket?
We are 70% correct.
Do you have that on a tab or anything that we could view?
We can do that at the end of it, but I actually have it on the tab. But I have to point out. So we technically got correct Creighton and Auburn, and we had Auburn to the Sweet 16, but we got Texas A&M to the Sweet 16.
Oh, so we had Texas A&M and Auburn. Gotcha. Yeah, back to this matchup, Auburn, Michigan. Let's see what Auburn's 8.5 point favorites right now.
Yeah.
As much as I am a Buckeyes fan, I would like to see the Big Ten excel. I think we're 10-3 right now in the tournament overall. First loss was, I believe, with Wisconsin this past round to BYU. Nonetheless, it would be cool to see Michigan beat Auburn, because doesn't Michigan have 2 7-footers on their team?
Yeah. You know what's funny? I feel like more confident than I should that we'll win this game.
Wow.
I feel like an odd sense of confidence. Maybe it's just bias, but I just feel like this team's got something cooking, man. And I was telling y'all going into March, they made a run in the Big Ten tournament. They've been underdogs in almost every single game. Everybody picked them to lose in the first round. Everybody picked Texas A&M. It's I feel like this team's got a chip on its shoulder. They got some guys stepping up. They got Roddy Gale, the Ohio State transfer, hit 26 points over Texas A&M, had 10 straight points on his own. Michigan's just hot. I feel like they got way underseeded because they had a bad 4-game stretch. But if you get rid of that 4-game stretch where they sucked, they've been amazing the rest of the season. Their record is still 27-9, and there's just one bad blip of basketball in there. And everybody took them down from a 2 or a 3 seed all the way down to a 5 seed below Wisconsin, below Maryland, below all these teams. It made no sense.
But
Michigan was one of the best 2 teams in the Big Ten all season.
But to be fair,
They got done dirty.
But to be fair, they got done dirty, but they made it to Sweet 16.
And that's what I'm saying, Stu. And I think that I think they're a bad matchup for Auburn too.
I think Stewart's actually going on your side, Stu. Or
I
your side,
Doug.
I think Stewart's going to root for the
Wolverines. Because you are making.
I mean, what I'm saying too is I feel like Auburn, they have that Broom guy. He's a great guy, great player, possible Wooden candidate player of the year. But I just feel like there's just something about this matchup where I'm like, dude, I feel like the 2 7-footers, I feel like we can give them some challenges here. And I'm rooting for an all Michigan Elite 8 matchup too. That'd be pretty fun.
That would be pretty dope. I mean, it's going to be interesting. It would be interesting because then it could be Michigan State right there. So Douglas, you're going to go first right now. You know who you're going to pick. Let's be honest.
I'm right now. You guys can pick against us. That's all right. Yeah, I mean, of course I'm going to pick the Wolverines. I mean, they're the hottest team in the country right now. Auburn. Did Auburn win the SEC tournament? I think they lost to Texas A&M. Who just beat Texas A&M?
Michigan.
Oh, there you go. That's all you need to know. Michigan beat Texas A&M. Texas A&M beat Auburn.
Michigan by 12. It wasn't a close game. It was a curb stomping.
Exactly.
I mean, it is very interesting because I feel like it is so funny because it's like Auburn had one decisive game and one really good game that they won. Michigan had really one bad game in the first round, I will be honest. But they recovered against A&M. I'll give them credit for that. They played a lot better. I was a little bit worried that they were going to be playing that bad game in that first round. And I was like, if they have a bad game in that first round, they're done. But they're looking a lot better now.
So who are you thinking this matchup, Auburn or Michigan?
I don't know. I feel like I'm 50-50 on this one. I weirdly agree with Doug, and I think the Wolverines are going to win this.
Yeah.
My dude.
Now, granted, if they do lose and they get the eulogies, I want to be in your face, Douglas. But I'm trying to get all bias aside. I think Michigan might got this.
I feel more confident than I should for an 8.5-point underdog. That's for darn sure.
Yeah, it is crazy that they're 8.5 right there. Now, Christopher, who is you going to pick?
I mean, I want to pick Michigan so bad, but I think Auburn's deep. It's going to come down to the defense. If Michigan, if their Twin Towers can shut down Broom, I don't think they play at the same time. If they do, then yeah, they can easily shut down Broom if they're playing at the same time. But yeah, defense. Auburn is I think one of the only teams, if not the only team, to hold both of their opponents to under 70 points this tournament so far. So yeah, defense. I'm gonna pick Auburn. But if Michigan could uphold their defense and knock down Broom, get the Brooms out and sweep Auburn. But I'm going with Auburn to overcome and beat the Wolverines.
Broom, doom, loom, doesn't matter. Wolverines by 50.
I mean, we'll see. Friday might be right. And then, for one of these teams, I'm going to be Michigan will be wow, this is a pleasant surprise. They made it far, or we're going to write their eulogy pretty soon.
I mean, and I won't be heartbroken at all. I wanted to make it to the Sweet 16. Everything else from here is gravy. Win the Big Ten tournament, make a nice run. There's no shame in losing to the number 1 overall seed in the tournament.
Yeah, I will say that. Even if we do the eulogy and they just get blown out by Auburn, I'm going to probably be you know what? They made it a lot farther than you expected. I don't even think regular season you thought they were going to make the Sweet 16, Douglas. I don't even think in this bracket you thought they were going to make the Sweet 16.
I mean, Doug did say that the Wolverines had a 4-game span where they absolutely sucked. And that was the word Doug said, sucked. So I'm pretty sure Doug during the season, he probably thought that they were going to be, marching on to Sweet 16 or at least making a good run here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think I told them in the other group chat, I said it depends on how they do in the Big Ten tournament. If they figure out their offense again, they can win the whole national title, and they're kind of figuring it out again. I mean, putting up 91 points. It's if I wish they didn't have that terrible streak. Maybe they can avenge their losses to Michigan State. That would be epic to keep Izzo out of the Final Four. Yes. Knocking on wood.
Yeah, knocking on wood, indeed. And now we got to talk about the 2 other teams that could be playing. Another Michigan team, Michigan State versus Ole Miss of Mississippi, who has been very decent. I mean, they beat North Carolina, which granted, it feels crazy that North Carolina was 11 seed, but they still beat them by 7. Not that surprised. And Mississippi, they played against Iowa and beat Iowa handily.
Iowa State. Don't get Iowa and Iowa State confused.
Sorry, Iowa State. I'm sorry. It's like saying Michigan.
Same state, 2 separate conferences and 2 separate tiers of a skill set for their basketball this year.
All right, but then you have Michigan decisively won against Brown.
Not Michigan. Not Michigan.
State.
It's like calling Ohio University Ohio State or vice versa. Like they're completely different colors, completely different schools.
No.
You're gonna trigger the entire state of Michigan if you keep that shenanigans up.
Oh yeah, don't you mean don't you mean little brother? No, don't let me do it. Don't let me do it.
Don't do it, Stu. We respect our Spartan friends, I guess, or something.
Yeah. Sorry, Sparty. Sorry, Sparties. I'm not gonna send that. But anyway, we got the Sparties, who decisively beat Bryan by 25 points and did beat New Mexico State by 7. So
that was a close game too. Like it's not, they kind of got hot late, but like New Mexico gave them a game, man. They gave them a ball game.
But now this is going to be the interesting. And I will look at our bracket right over here. The bracketology right there. We were correct on Michigan State. But we actually had Iowa State. Womp, womp, womp.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we picked Iowa State. I probably made the point saying that Iowa State was like heavily favored to possibly go to the national championship, if not maybe the Final Four. But man, they really showed their true colors in that matchup and got toasted by Ole Miss.
Yeah, they got toasted for Ole Miss. Now, gentlemen, we decide. This is going to be the interesting one. The bracketology.
I'd be curious what Ole Miss shoots on 3-point percentages. Because I think that's what this game will come down to. Because Michigan State, they're pretty atrocious at shooting the threes themselves. And like if Ole Miss can knock down some threes, they got a good shot. But if Michigan State's defense is playing lights out, then Michigan State's going to win it. It's going to come down to, can the Ole Miss Rebels get some 3-pointers to drop in the bucket?
Yeah. But I don't know. I just kind of have a feeling the Spartans are going to do it.
On the season, Ole Miss is 34% from the 3-point range, which actually is pretty good. That's 1 for every 3 shots you take. Not bad.
Yeah, I think I saw Michigan State holds teams to 27%, which is one of the best in the country. But they themselves only shoot like 28%. So it's like, I think it might come down to who can hit their tray balls.
Hey, and that's where I'm going with my segment here. It's all about the defense again in this matchup, because Michigan State is the other team that has held both their opponents to below 70 points. Actually, both their opponents below 63. So Michigan State, it doesn't matter on seeding here, even though it kind of does. I'm taking Michigan State in this battle of the North versus the South, Michigan versus Mississippi.
I think basically Mississippi is about to be missed because Michigan State, the Sparties, are going to win this one. I think it might be even handle it. I think it's going to win by like 10. That's my prediction. What do you think?
Yeah. What do I think, or what do I mean? Whatever. I'll put my bias aside. I'm putting it in my pocket. I'm not going to rebel against this one.
Pun intended.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I feel like Iowa State would have been able to give the Sparties a really good game. Maybe Ole Miss can get hot, but I mean, respect to Izzo, respect to all the things that he's done. I think I like Sparty a lot. I feel like it's a really good matchup for them.
Nice.
Look at that. We got triple threes. The Sparty land is about.
Well, kind of a bummer because there's only 4 Big Ten teams left, and Sparty's the only one that has a higher seed. It's like the other 3 Big Ten teams are going up against 1 seeds. So it's kind of like, man, Sparty's might be our best chance to bring down the Nets, but nobody wants to see that. Hopefully, the Tower of Doom from Ann Arbor can do it.
No, we don't.
Yeah, because I don't see the other 2 Big Ten teams winning. That's Maryland, 4 seed versus number 1 Florida, and then number 4 Purdue versus number 1 Houston. I don't see them getting it done. As impressive as it would be, yeah, I'm thinking State has the biggest chance of winning a championship, but going to the Final Four for all the remaining Big Ten teams.
Yes.
Oh man,
And
gosh, I hope for Wolverines versus Spartans for the Final Four. Even if we lost, it would just be so fun for the state of Michigan and the Big Ten.
Yes, indeed. And now we got another Big Ten team we got to talk about. My God, 3 Big Ten teams in a row. We got Maryland playing against Florida, where Florida was dominant by Norfolk, 95-69, but was very close against UConn, a weakened UConn team, 77-75. And now we got
Wait,
GCU.
so what did you just say? Florida versus UConn? What kind of adjectives and wording did you use?
Close game.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
I do think that it was kind of an unlucky draw in the second round, just because like UConn's got that kind of March magic. They got that, defending champion grit. So I feel like it was a tough, but they succeeded. And the Gators, me and Jake both picked them to win the whole thing as well.
Yeah, and now we got basically Maryland, who did decisively, probably the biggest whooping of all the teams, basically 81-49, my God, against GCU, and then beat up on Colorado State. I mean, barely beat them by 1 point.
Here comes that terminology from when we talk about football, beating up. They won by 1.
That was lucky.
Were they the buzzer beater?
And wasn't that controversial too? Or was it?
I don't think it was controversial, but Colorado State hit a 3 to go up 1, and then Maryland hit it back to win by 1.
So they did a buzzer beater 1 in the game. That's pretty
impressive. The double buzzer beater, if you will. It was pretty good. About probably the best game, like at least the best ending of the bracket.
Yes. Probably the biggest fun of the bracket. So this is going to be interesting. Both of these teams are looking hot. Both these teams played against tough opponents. Both these teams.
Wow. Maryland's numbers are far better than I was expecting. I didn't realize that they'd be a top 10 net team. The point differential's awesome. They did also just lose to the Wolverines like a couple days ago, but like that's beside the point. Somehow they're ranked as the 4 seed. But man, oh man, like those are some nice advanced metrics here for the Terrapins.
I mean, I will say, Douglas, do I need to bring my salt shaker because you're very salty right now?
I mean, we're in the Sweet 16s too. I'm just simply pointing out the fact of all the teams that were seeded ahead of us. That's all I'm doing. I'm bringing the receipts.
You're bringing the receipts right now. You're just like the cashier, be like, "Hey, I got some receipts right over here."
Well, I mean, last podcast, I did make some bold proclamations that the Wolverines would outlast the Spartans. So I still got a lot riding on Sparty continuing to dominate too. This isn't good.
Yeah, this is not good. But anyway, Douglas, what's your thoughts about this Maryland versus Florida? 2 teams that fought their way to make it to the Sweet 16, probably the toughest way of getting to the Sweet 16, probably of both of these teams.
Yeah. I mean, it's honestly, it looks better on paper than I thought it would. Like I'm a little bit surprised at how high Maryland's ranked. I mean, they had a really nice season. Like, I don't know, man. It's hard to pick against Florida, though. I mean, a lot of the experts, and I don't know much about, like, I don't follow college basketball super close, but a lot of people said that Florida was the best team in the SEC, even though Auburn got the regular season crown and the number 1 overall seed. Like, a lot of experts kind of think that Florida is the maybe second best team to Duke or best team in the country. I mean, I'm not going to pick against them. I picked them, in brackets, and I have confidence in the Gators.
Yes, you indeed have some confidence in the Gators. Actually, fun fact, for that whole bracketology, this is the only spot in the bracket where we are 100% correct. We picked Florida, UConn, Colorado State, and Maryland.
No kidding.
Oh, picked Colorado State? Wow.
Yes.
We're geniuses.
We're geniuses, baby.
We also, I don't know. I mean, I definitely brought it up. I'm not sure if anyone else brought it up, but Memphis, their star player, was out when they played Colorado State, so that clearly showed. And then, like Doug mentioned earlier in the podcast, we were pretty much going off the higher seeds, and obviously in this part of the bracket, it worked.
Sweet.
But I'm going with Doug on this. I'm going Florida. I like what Doug was saying, that they might be the second best team, only to Duke. Man, Duke's dominating, but we'll get to them a little bit later. I like Florida against Maryland. It's cool to see all 4 Big Ten teams in the Elite 8. If we're going Michigan State, I think that's pretty good right there. I don't think Maryland's going to be able to top Florida, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think I got to do one thing, gentlemen. and I think this means it. Chomp, chomp, baby! Florida's gonna make it. They're gonna win this game, and I think it's gonna be close. I think though it might be a buzzer beater. It might even be less than. I'm gonna say Florida wins it, but I think it's less than 5.
I don't know if Maryland. I mean, I never watched UConn or Maryland this entire season. Is Maryland a better team than UConn? If so, then Maryland can overcome and beat Florida because UConn pretty much almost took care of Florida. And if Maryland's a better team than UConn, Maryland could beat Florida. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going Florida on this one. Yeah, three. It's a sweep. All 3 of us took Florida.
Yep, that's
Heck yeah. Sorry, Terrapins.
Sorry, Terrapins. I'm sorry. The Turtles are gonna have to be
Go
chomped by the Gators.
Hopefully they can put their head in their shell and just move on, you know?
Yeah.
Make that Gator choke.
Make that Gator chant. And it's time for us to move on to the next team. We got Texas Tech, the TTs on their helmets versus another Southern team, Arkansas Razorbacks.
We picked the TTs to make a run, didn't we?
We actually, I'm looking at it correctly, we had Texas Tech making the Sweet 16, but unfortunately, we got it. We did not think Arkansas was going to win the first round. They made it Sweet 16.
I'm pretty sure we took St. John's to play Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Who did we have winning, St. John's or Texas Tech? If that's the matchup we picked. So this part of the bracket's done for us. We're done.
Yeah. This part of the bracket is done for us. But anyway, we got Texas Tech who beat North Carolina Williamson. UNCW. I have no idea that school existed. And then they played against Drake, which we did pick Drake to win it.
Pretty sure. North Carolina Wilmington. Pretty sure. It doesn't matter. They lost.
They lost by 10. And then, hey, Drake, I heard him like you're young. You want to get out of this block, like this bracket, like cell block 1. Lost to Texas Tech, 77-14.
You know, dude, that could have been so epic if he didn't stumble a little bit there. That was good stuff.
Yeah, that's really
I know. I guess I should quit my job and basically become a podcaster and just be a rapper.
A rapper and a podcaster. Let's go.
Yes.
Heck yeah. Rap about podcasting.
We're gonna get some brackets. I'm not too old for that. I can't.
Find out words that rhyme with brackets.
Brackets? No.
I got nothing.
I got nothing. I'm not a poet. I'm a podcaster, not a rapper. But anyway, gentlemen. So, and then we got the Arkansas Razorbacks, who basically beat Kansas by 7 and beat St. John's by 9, even though they were the favorites. St. John's were the favorites, but Arkansas, sweet, is back versus the TTs on their helmets of Texas Tech.
TTs
on their helmets. I'm sorry. When you think of Texas Tech, you're gonna think of TTs.
From here on out, actually from last week, since you guys kept saying TTs, that's all I've been thinking about.
Yes, they're TTs.
I'm still thinking about Michael Crabtree beating Texas. That's what I'm thinking about. You remember that catch, Stu, where you like spun out the dude out of bounds, tiptoed down the sideline? You know what I'm talking about.
Really?
You get the obscure 13-year-old reference.
Really?
You know your history.
Better. We have made it to a playoffs. You know what Texas Tech has done? Nothing.
They produced Patrick Mahomes, Stu. That's what they did.
They didn't do anything with Mahomes. No championship with Mahomes.
They had Cliff Kingsbury there, okay? And he did something.
Patrick Mahomes and
it's called mediocrity.
Was it Patrick Mahomes and Baker Mayfield Texas Tech versus Oklahoma? Wasn't it one of the highest scoring games of the time?
Exactly. That was fun to watch. More fun than any Texas game I've watched.
Yeah, right. For real. More entertaining than any of these college basketball games going on right now.
I mean, I will say, it was more enjoyable, Douglas, when it was Texas versus Michigan. I'm just saying.
Oh, take that back.
That was a very enjoyable game for me, right? I was like, oh, man, we're owning this team. I was like,
I got one that was even better, Stu.
You had
Michigan versus Ohio State. That one was even more fun.
No, I will say.
How many was it? 4 years,
so
5
much
years?
fun when I saw Matthew McConaughey in Ann Arbor just saying, all right. We're Longhorns. We're just like, football is life. And you know what?
You know what, Stu? I wish last year you guys could have beat Washington, so you could have lost in the national championship game. You guys were so close, but no cigar once again.
Yeah, nice going Nation.
McCannahay can say all right to the benches again.
Oh no.
Oh no, my Longhorns suck at basketball.
How dare you? Damn you all. Anyway, gentlemen, we got to talk about this. Anyway, who do you think is going to win between the two Southern teams of the Tay-Tays versus the Sweet?
I'm going John Calipari here. I want to see a lower ranked team in the Sweet 16. I think this is going to be the team because there's no other lower ranked teams in the Sweet 16 right now. So I want to see number 10 Arkansas go to the Elite Eight.
You know, I was thinking the same thing. I don't know why. I feel like, you know,
based off seeding, under lower seed.
This just feels like one of those things. This is why Arkansas got Calipari, and like, you know, I just feel like there's something magical about this run here. Let's keep it going.
So you're thinking this could be a trap game?
I mean, I don't think it's a trap game. I think it's a straight up L for the TTs.
I mean, like a trap game in the sense of they're thinking
TTs in the LLs.
TTs in the LLs. You know what? TT ain't gonna win this one. They're the most boringest college, just like their basketball. Because I'm going Arkansas, baby.
Oh wow, a sweep for the 10 seed. You love to see it.
Sweet. I feel like it's gonna be the Razorback. It's gonna be the Sweet. Though it is funny because my dad hates Arkansas. He doesn't hate any other school, but one school, and that is the Razorbacks.
Wow, tell him not to listen to this podcast this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell him not to listen to this podcast, and I'm gonna tell him like we're not gonna wear those Piggly Wiggly hats, for the Arkansas, right? Would you support the Piggly Wigglies for the wearing the hats?
I don't know if I've ever actually been to the state of Arkansas, if I'm being honest. So I don't know what's going on here. I just think that they're a fun story.
Yeah, but anyway, that is it for the Arkansas. And now we gotta go up the north, and we gotta talk about the most interesting, probably, this week, Arizona versus Duke, where Duke curbed Mountain State 93-49. And then Duke curb stomped Baylor 89-66. Sorry, Baylor Bears. And Arizona basically beat up on the Akron, took out one of our great schools from Ohio. And
Zip it up, boys.
They zipped it up right there. And then Oregon Ducks, unfortunately, went duck hunting because they lost to the Arizona. So this one's actually going to be interesting. And gentlemen, we were actually incorrect. We actually had Liberty going to the Sweet 16.
Liberty.
Unfortunately, I thought there was going to be a 12 seed, but we got Duke, who's just been dominant, probably the most dominant of all the basketball teams right now.
I mean, probably the best team in the country, like by a significant amount.
Yeah.
Like lottery picks everywhere. Probably the number one overall pick, player of the year.
They got the number one. They're 3-2 with top 25 teams. Strength of schedule. Granted, that's the only thing, but point percentage and opposing, they got this.
Look at that. Averaging 22-point victory per game. That's darn impressive.
Yeah. Versus, let's be honest. Duke's going to win this game, right?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I want to pull for Zona, like I love my Wildcats, but I mean, they got to meet the Blue Devil.
Yeah, the Blue Devil is they're taking, unfortunately, they took a song from the Devil, and unfortunately, the Devil said, we're going to have to pay for those debts, Arizona Wildcats.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Arizona, man, I didn't realize that they were like a top 12 NET ranked team there, like the net rankings. Like they've had a nice season. Like it wouldn't be shocking to see them win. They have Caleb Love, who wanted to come to Michigan, but then ended up in Zona there. So he's kind of a nice story. There's some good stuff going on, but it's really hard to see Duke losing to. I don't really know who can beat Duke. That's the problem. Like,
I think honestly, it might. I think if I had to put my two top teams, I think it's Florida and Duke.
Yeah, and I think it's Duke, honestly, by like a significant amount. Like they're just so deep, so consistent. Like I would almost put Duke against the field and feel pretty good about that bet.
I don't think Duke is going to lose to this one. I think it might be a boring game, and I think they win by like 23 points.
Oh wow!
Whoa. So take them to cover the 9.5 point spread. I might do that.
Yes, I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling. So I'm going Duke. What do you think, Douglas?
Yeah, give me Duke. I mean, I don't think it'll be 23 points. Like I think Arizona will keep it like within 8 to 10 points a lot of the game, but I like Duke by a good amount. I think they're just too deep, too good.
All right.
Yeah, I'll take Duke as well. I mean, I wouldn't say 23. That'd be crazy, but I would certainly take Duke to cover the 9.5 point spread for sure. I mean, I agree with everything you guys said. I was trying to look up the last time all 4 number 1 seeds made it to the Elite 8. I couldn't find anything.
I think it was like 2008. I remember there was one year that was like
2008 was the only year all 4 number 1 seeds made the Final Four. I was trying to find some things on the Elite 8, but
maybe I can look at my good old friend Mr. ChatGPT to say
that's
last
a good one to do.
time March Madness was it number 1s made it to
The Elite 8.
To the Elite 8.
All right.
Yeah, Duke. Yeah, Duke's just too good. Duke's just too good. I mean, even like
it was actually 2023.
Ah, so like 2 years ago.
2 years ago, was it really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Last time that the number 1s made it to the Elite 8. Oh, all I should say all 4.
Yeah, as I say, you got to have all 4 included.
Made it to the Elite 8. Let's see. 2016.
Okay, and that was last year. All 4 number 1s made it to the Sweet 16. Okay, that's cool. Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's a fun fact. And 2008 was the last time that all 4. So look at that. Thank you, ChatGPT.
Bad news, boys. Some streaks got to stay alive, and there's no way that all 4 1 seeds are winning.
All right. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But with this one, it's gonna be Duke. Let's be honest. Let's.
Yeah, lock that one in. Lock in Florida. So I mean, that really only leaves us 2 choices.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. And we got the 2 mores. We got BYU, the Brigham Young, the Mormons, the Special Underpants versus Bama. Roll Tide.
It's kind of cool that there's 2 Alabama schools in here. Like they figured, hey, we suck at football now in the SEC. Let's try basketball more.
Yeah, go figure on that one. So
yeah, the Big Ten now owns college football. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good game against Robert Morris. I watched a little bit of that during work for a little bit, and then they were decisive against St. Mary's. Unfortunately, the Saints were not marching in, and the power of Christ decided that Bama should go to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, Mary had a little lamb that didn't show up that day.
Yeah, Mary did not have a little lamb. Unfortunately, there was no wise men, and
Get some pork chops.
And they basically got chopped.
Mm-hmm.
So you said there's 2 teams from Alabama that are still alive?
Auburn, Auburn and that one.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I always forget that Auburn's in Alabama. I always forget where Auburn is.
And like I said, you got BYU basically beating VCU by 9. And got close with Wisconsin. That was a good game. Honestly, I thought they were going to shoot that buzzer beater, Wisconsin, and they just didn't do it towards the end. It was a good game. That was actually probably my favorite game of the week.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Mm-hmm. And in our bracket, we were wrong because we picked Wisconsin.
Yeah, I can imagine. Based on how our bracket has been going, from what you've been telling us, I feel like we've been picking all the top seeds.
Yeah. So, gentlemen,
who did we have? Did we have Alabama going to the Elite 8?
We had Bama. Yes, it was Bama versus Duke.
All right, there's my pick for this game: Alabama over BYU.
Yeah. Sorry, Utah. Nothing personal, Utah, but it's extremely personal. Give me Alabama.
You're so upset because they took out Wisconsin. You're mad that a Big 12 team just took out a Big 10 team?
Oh man, no, that's not what I'm mad about, Stu. I think it's funny that Wisconsin shit was seeded so high in the first place, so they kind of deserved that one. Yeah. Sorry, Wisconsin. You shouldn't have been a 3 seed.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, so you don't think they should have been a 3 seed? Maybe like a 5 or 6?
I mean, I feel like it. Like, I don't know. Like, they lost. Like, I don't know. Whatever. I'm gonna get off that.
They didn't win the Big Ten by any means. So
they didn't win the Big Ten. They lost to Michigan head-to-head. They had the worst record than Michigan, and somehow they got two better seeds ahead of Michigan. It's like, yeah.
Well, hey,
and every match
because Michigan's still alive, and Wisconsin, they're badgering off up north somewhere.
Exactly. Get out of here.
Laugh. Hey, you get to laugh at the end because look at that. Wisconsin has to take a flight home, and Michigan's still playing.
Heck yeah, exactly.
Wisconsin can't win. BYU by 50.
I think Bama's going to do it. Like I said, they made it to the Final Four last year. I feel like
it'll be a really fun, high-scoring game, but like definitely, I like Bama a lot now.
Yeah, I think I'm going to pick Bama. I think they might win by like 7 or
8. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a decisive win, but I think it's not going to be like a close buzzer beater. I think it's going to be like a last minute. They're going to have to foul a lot of times and all that stuff.
It is kind of crazy that Alabama's giving up 81 points a game, though. Like, that's not a good sign. I mean, it looks like they had a good season, but like they're a 2 seed, 27-8. All right, I can respect it.
I can respect it indeed. And now, gentlemen, we got another team. We got one down. We got more to go. We got Houston versus Purdue, where Houston curb stomped another Cougar to say that we're the top Cougar by 38 points. And finally, embarrassing Gonzaga yet again to not make it to another round because Gonzaga always chokes. I was correct. Let's put it that way. I got the tapes. I'm just saying.
I don't know if I brought it up last week on this podcast or if when I was watching the games this past Friday with my buddies, but Gonzaga's a team, just like Michigan State, they're a team that always wins at least the first round. I think it's unfortunate Gonzaga had to play Houston, and Houston is obviously their top 4 teams in the nation. Mm-hmm. But man, Houston versus Purdue, it's gonna be a good game.
And unfortunately, we got our bracket wrong because we had Clemson in the Sweet 16. So
and they lost in the first round.
Thanks, McNeese.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like unfortunately I have no confidence in Purdue though. Like I feel like they really struggled all the way down the stretch. It's like, I mean, they beat a 13 and a 12 seed.
Yeah, they beat High Point by 12 points, and then they beat McNeese by 14. So a 13 and then a 12 seed.
I mean, it's like that was the only way that Purdue was going to make it this far because like they couldn't beat anybody at the end of the season. Like they stumbled down the stretch.
Yeah, I just feel like that they're making the Sweet 16 because it's like an easy road ahead for them.
So Purdue's one of those teams that should be ranked lower than 5 seed Michigan. Gotcha.
I mean, the bias me says yes. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Like, they had a really nice start to the season, and like it seemed like they were going to run away with the Big Ten, and then they just kind of like collapsed. They lost, I think, early in the Big Ten tournament. It's like they really had no momentum going. I feel like the only way that they were going to make a run is in this scenario where they get to play 2 double-digit seeds to make. Like, I just don't see a way that they beat Houston. I mean,
they're not going to beat Houston. They're not going to beat Houston. I think this is going to be a blowout. I honestly do. I think they're going to lose by like 23 points.
What, man? Sir, you were the 23.
Oh, man.
I like it though. I like the confidence, Stu.
I'm confident. How funny would it be if they actually lose by 23 and I'll be like, Stu,
did you just watch The Last Dance or something? You pulling some Michael Jordan stuff out? What's going on here?
Yeah. Who it's like that one time on The Last Dance. It's like, oh, buzzer beater. Who are you gonna give it to? And then Michael Jordan's like, me, stupid. That's a dumb question.
Well, it's really nice of Steve Kerr to pass up that shot and give it to Michael. What a guy. Yes. That's why he's a great coach, too. Selfless man.
Yeah.
Man.
I still laugh at the this is a random tangent, the Chuck Noll story where Chuck Noll beat Michael Jordan in golf, and Michael Jordan is the most competitive person in the planet. So at 4 a.m., he literally knocked on the door. He's like, "Coach, we gotta go play golf right now." 4 a.m.
Who do you think was more competitive, Kobe or MJ? Who was the deeper competitor?
Oh my goodness. And
different eras, but I'd probably say Michael Jordan.
Also, the funny part was Michael Jordan, he basically beat Chuck Noll, and then after a scrimmage match, he's like to Chuck Noll, "Don't ever beat me in golf ever again."
Classic Chuck Noll, dude. Chuck
Yes.
Noll.
But anyway, I think Houston's going to win this one decisively. It's Houston. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I do like what the Cougars have been doing all year, and it feels like a good matchup for them.
I think this is going to be an easy layup. I think they're going to make the Final Four.
Yeah, I'm with Houston as well. Houston has good. I mean, it didn't really show last game against Gonzaga, but Houston has really good defense.
Who might Houston play in the Elite Eight if they win? Was it?
Oh, I think we should show it up right here because the next one is going to be the final one. The UConns, the Ux.
UConns. What do you call UConns?
This is probably the best matchup on paper. I feel like 2 versus 3, 2 kind of solid blue blood type programs. This should be a good one.
I mean, they beat Troy by 19, which is not that was pretty decisive. They beat Illinois by 9. And then Tennessee beat up on the Wolf. Now it became a little barky dog, bark. And then beat up on UCLA by 9 points. But now this is going to be the interesting matchup right now. 2 teams that look really good. 2 teams that are very close. SEC versus SEC. Which one of these SEC are going to the Elite Eight? And which one of these SECs is going back to playing golf?
I'm not sure if the players would go play golf. They might, but if anyone, it's going to be the Kentucky Wildcats. Their team can go play some golf, go hit 9 or go to 18. I say that because I know, they probably have a whole new team compared to last year or the year before. But, man, the last few seasons I've been riding high on Kentucky, and they always break my heart. Or not really my heart, but they break my bracket.
Don't be breaking my bracket. Kentucky.
So, yeah, I'm going Tennessee in this matchup. Tennessee's been looking good all year. I think they're ranked 1 to begin the season or, top 3 to begin the season. I strongly believe they're ranked 1 at one point during the season. So Tennessee, the Volunteers, Orange is going to be running heavy in that game. I'm not going to say it's going to be a blowout, but I can see it being a close game. Tennessee by 5.
All right, so for this SEC violence, Douglas, who do you think's going to win?
Wildcats, Pussycats, Kitty Cats, Volunteers by 5.
Yeah. Well, are we playing? Is this about college basketball or college football?
Oh, would it be college football? The college football would be the Volunteers.
Either way, Tennessee would win. Tennessee is the superior program in both sports, so is where I was going with this. They would win on the football field, they'd win on the basketball court. They'd probably win on the baseball field, too.
And they'll probably win on softball, track, probably.
It's a really good softball program, though. So, yeah.
Exactly. Peyton Manning's there just throwing dimes and, So, I mean, it's really hard to go against Tennessee here. I mean, I think that they could give Houston a heck of a game, too, if they made up. Tennessee is one of the better teams. I mean, top 5 net ranking there as well kind of shows it. They probably were the strongest 2 seed as well. Just a bad matchup for Kentucky, I fear.
It is a bad matchup. I just feel like it's going to be I think the Volunteers are going to volunteer Kentucky out of this tournament because it's going to be Tennessee. We're going to Sweet Pete.
Yeah.
Right. We had 2 1s versus 2s. That's Duke and Alabama, then Houston versus Tennessee. And then I like that we have Arkansas going.
And also a fun fact. We did not pick Kentucky to make it to the Sweet 16. We picked Illinois.
Sir, can you show our bracket on the screen here? Because we're kind of done talking about the round of 32.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you give the audience what they want to see and how ugly or how great our bracket's looking?
We spent this expensive quality right here. Look at this.
That looks bad.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a bunch of green on the left, a little happy on the right side.
No.
Right, now
Look at this. Douglas is laughing and the inside like, ha ha, you idiots.
we should listen to Doug. Now I'm seeing a little bit.
Don't listen to me. But yeah, I mean, who would you pick at this moment if you had to re-pick who's going to take it all home?
I'm still going Florida.
Wow, Florida. Oof.
Yeah, I feel like I'm switching to Duke, unfortunately. If it's not the Wolverines, I feel like Duke is the most complete team.
I mean, do you think Duke could beat Michigan? Do you think Michigan could beat Duke?
Not really. I mean, they could if they got hot. I mean, it's obviously a college basketball game, but it's like if you just look at Duke's team, I mean, there's a reason that they're like 32-3 and have the number 1 draft pick. Like they're like, I don't know, like they're crazy good. Like not that Florida and Auburn and Tennessee and Houston aren't.
Stuart, scroll down a little bit. I want to see who's in our Final Four in the championship. Scroll up now.
All right, our Final Four was
wrong.
Oh, we have the Aggies going all the way to the finals. That you said.
I thought the Aggies were going to be good. Okay.
Well, it looked promising there for part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, in order for teams to advance in our bracket, have at least 2
points in that like 3 minutes, like they probably would have made it to the Final Four.
Well, so we picked 3 1 seeds, so that was smart of us. The other 3 are all 1 seeds. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So if you guys had to pick, so it seems like we're going heavy on Duke. Who would they play in the championship? Who do you guys feel?
I mean, I like Florida a lot. Like Florida's been my pick, but I feel like just after seeing how dominant Duke was, like I feel like I've wavered.
I think I'm going to still go. I'm still picking Florida, even after the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I'd probably go with Florida. That Florida UConn game though gave me a little bit of a heart race there. And honestly, I would go. Obviously, we're going to go Duke from that side of the bracket, but on a limb here, I wouldn't mind seeing Duke and Michigan State in the final.
Oh gosh!
But I also would love to see.
Yeah,
that's the exact response I wanted from a diehard Wolverine. But I really would love to see Auburn versus Duke. I want to see Broom versus Cup, or not Cup. Yeah, it's flag.
Super flag, yeah. Yeah, that would be a fun one too. Auburn versus Duke would be a really good one. I'd like to see Auburn versus Alabama just for like it'd be kind of funny. Like it'd be fun, like for the national championship. Like then instead of just being the rivalry in football, then we have like a basketball one now too. We can kind of expand on the Iron Bowl. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. I was seeing Red River, but no, Iron Bowl is what they hoist up for the Auburn Alabama football match.
That would be all good indeed. And now, gentlemen, do you have any final thoughts?
Go Duke, go Michigan, and go Michigan State. Let's get that Michigan matchup in the Elite Eight.
You know what? Go Sparties.
That's fine. I mean, I'm going to stand bold that Michigan will make it further than Michigan State because they can't back down on that one. That would be silly of me.
Yeah, you cannot. There's no half measures, Douglas.
I mean, I'm hoping for some buzzer beaters. That's my parting wish. Like, I don't want these to be blowouts. Let's get the meat and potatoes of this tournament and have some good quality finishes.
We want some good quality finishes indeed. And now, gentlemen, we are pretty much done with this week's Sweet 16. And now next week, we're gonna have to do 12 eulogies on teams that failed and talk about the Final Four and see how it goes right here.
Let's go.
So as always, gentlemen, I will catch you later, Mr. Gators. So as always, take care. Bye-bye.